Hi guys, in this video we will see how we can add activities in the project. But first we need to open the activities and you need also need to understand their Primavera P6 uses for the different terminologies. So it uses this folder option for the project and a green color caption for the activity. So uh, uh, for adding a activity into the project, we just need to open a project. So for that, you just need to right click on the project and click on the open. You can also do that by using the shortcut key Control plus O, but I choose this method for adding activity. So now this you will see this window, and in this window there is no activity added. So you can change the width of the column. So let's do that. So in this window, you will see different options: the original duration, the remaining duration, schedule percentage complete, start, finish, and total floor. So these are the different options that are offered by the Primavera V6. If you are comfortable with these options, if you want to use these options or these columns, then it's okay. Otherwise, you can also change the column. And how you can do that? You need to right click on the upper tab. So when you click on the option, let's see, let me redo that. Right click here and go to columns and a new window will be opened. So in this window, you will see different options. So the right side is the basically all the columns that you see in your current view. So you can change that. So if I don't want a remaining duration, so click here and then click here. So click here and the option will be removed. Similarly, I don't want schedule percentage complete. Again, I remove it from here. So I also don't need total floor. I also remove it from here. So I have I have removed all the unnecessary columns from here, but I need a predecessor column here. So how I can do that? You can click here and you go click on the find and enter here let's enter just pre and you will see predecessor details. Click on the predecessor, and now if you want to add the column, click here. So and you can change the hierarchy. So I want activity name ID, activity name, duration, then start, finish, and then predecessor. Also I need resources here. On the apply and then click on the OK. So you can see the view of the main window has been changed as per your own desire. Now let's see how we can add activities into our project. So there are different methods of doing that. If you want to add activity, you can right click here and then go to add. This will create a activity. This is one method of doing it. Other method is, let's just delete it. The other method is on the right side, on the right side, you see a plus button here. And on the plus button, just click here and another activity will be created. But in this scenario, a complete dialog box will be opened, which will guide you through the process of creation and activity. So you can see the activity ID. The default activity ID is A1000. So this is a default naming scheme of the Primavera P6. I recommend you don't change this scheme because this is a default. Otherwise, you have to create your own scheme for your project. So enter the name. Let's say the first activity is A and click on the next and then the WBS. There are different WBS that are part of the project. So we have not created a WBS yet, but we will also see how we can create a WBS. Enter OK. Next, activity type. There are different types of activities that are offered by the Primavera P6. The first one is finish milestone. As we know that milestones are particular point of time at which you achieve something. So this is a finish milestone. You can do that, but I will choose task dependent and click on the next. And here you can also assign the resources. So you can also assign the resources in the later phases. So I will skip this, and you can enter the type of the duration. So that's Four different types of the duration we will study in detail. What is the meaning of each one? Fixed duration and units, fixed duration and unit or time, fixed unit or time. Click on the next, and here you can enter the duration of the activity. So the duration, let's say we keep it as a 10 days. Next. So in this section, you can either choose to configure the relationship of the activity with the previous activities, or you can do it in the later phases. So as I have already only created one activity, so I cannot do it now. So I will skip it next, and I will also not enter the activity information, enter and next. So in this way, you have created a activity. Now this activity is a single standalone activity. Now the best practice of creating a project is through the creation of WBS. In the next video, we'll see how we can create our own WBS, which are basically a step above the activity in the Microsoft in the Primavera. Hello guys, in this video we will learn how to add WBS into our Primavera P6 project. So WBS are a step below the project, and in the WBS all the activities are included. So every activity in a project that should be a part of a WBS. So let's see how we can create a WBS. So for that you need to understand that in the Primavera P6 uses these blue icons for the WBS. So on the left hand side you can see this blue icon. So for adding a WBS into Primavera P6, we need to first enter into the WBS view. So click on these two buttons and you will be entered into the WBS view. Now at this point we have no WBS into our project. So let's see how we can add a WBS. For that you need to go on the right side and you will see a plus button here. Click here and a dialog, a WBS will be created. At WBS you can give it a code and you can also give it a name. So I'm not going to change that code, and I'm going to name it as a civil activity. Let's say it's a civil activity. And now all the civil related activities will be part of this WBS. And then the second one is planning. So I just wrote change planning. Now this planning, the Primavera P6 by default made the planning the part of the civil. So I want to change it. For that you can change it by using these buttons, these features. So I am click on the left indent. So planning and civil are part of the same level. So I want to move the planning upward, and then there is a civil. There are no activities in the planning and there are no activities in the civil WBS. Now these are the categories, and under these categories we will further add the activities. Activities are basically the lowest level of the WBS. So let's, for the practice purpose, we just create two WBS and then we open a WBS. Let's say I open a planning. So this is a planning WBS, and below the planning there is a civil WBS. Now let's start adding the activities. Now go to the activity view, and in the activity view you can see the activities and the WBS. You can see the WBS has made Primavera P6 has made planning as part of the civil. Again go back to the previous view and change the hierarchy. So go to the activity view and let's delete the previous activity. So now these are the two different WBS levels. You can see that the Primavera P6 uses different coloring scheme for the different WBS. Now click on the planning and add. Now activity will be added in the plan. Now let's name it as a creation of scope management plan. Okay, and its duration is, let's say, 30 days, and it start on, let's say, 22 of March. So a dialog box will be open. Do you want to add a start on? Obviously I have added a customized start date, so I want it to start on this particular. So finish date will be automatically decided by the P6. So in this way, you can add activities. So there's a task for you. You need to add at least 5 activities in the planning WBS and 5 activities in the civil WBS. In the next section, we will see how we can add a so in this video, we will see how we can add relationship between 2 activities and how we can make one predecessor and the other successor. In the previous video, we see 4 different types of the relationship. So let's start. So basically, add I want to link each milestone with the subsequent activity. For example, scope management plan is completed should be linked with the creation of scope management. So I want to add with the predecessor. For that, we need to use the bottom tab, click on the predecessor, click on the assign, and here you can assign the creation of scope management plan is the predecessor activity, and the relationship between the and similarly, creation of schedule management is related with the schedule plan created. So click here and assign resources and creation of schedule management plan. Okay, and the relationships. Similarly, the cost management plan is created. Should be assigned with the creation of cost management plan assigned. Similarly, the procurement management plan created should be assigned with the creation of procurement management plan. Here, assigned. Similarly, the final creation of communication management plan should be assigned with creation of the communication management plan assigned and click OK. This is how you assign the relationship. And similarly, we can also assign the relationship between each activity. So creation of scope management plan should be the first activity, and then schedule management plan is the next activity. So click here and it will start after the scope management plan is created. So scope management plan created, click OK and finish the task. And similarly, we can create the cost management plan in parallel. So click here and creation of scope management schedule management plan. Click here. You can change the relationship type from here from finish to start to start to start. This is how you assign the relationship from the primary shift. But one thing that is very important to note here is that after assigning relationship and predecessor successor, the starting and ending date of the activities are still the same. So how we can remove that error? We will also see that. So the starting and ending date of the activities are still same. So we will do the same with the civil activities. So the raw material fixed should be linked with the mixing of raw material. Dot fill click on assign and assign the mixing of raw material. Click OK. And similarly, filling done should be linked with the filling of part assign. Okay. Hardening done should be hardening of part close. Okay. And similarly, cementing done should be with the cementing of floor. Now, similarly, the filling of earth is the second activity after the completion of the mixing activity. So mixing done, filling raw material, and then now you can see the duration of the activity has not. Just see that. Okay. So how we can do that? For that, we need to use the option of the clock here. We need to click here. Click on the clock. And you will see this option. The front date is 21 and Kronos. There is some problem, and the problem is that scheduling or leveling cannot achieve because circular relationship exists. So basically, we have added a circular relationship. We need to remove the circular relationship. Let's do that. So we have removed that error. Let's do it again. Now it has been scheduled. Now all the starting and ending data are set accordingly, according to the relationship that we set. This is how you basically schedule, create and enter relationship and activities. Hello guys, how are you? In this video, we will learn about network diagram. So Primavera P6 also gives you a facility to see and analyze the network diagram in the Primavera. So let's see how we can see the and network diagram in Primavera P6. So as we know that we have already created a schedule in Primavera P6. In order to create a network diagram, we need to use the problem. Below the project tab, you will see these four different shapes. So if you click on the first page, it will give you a tabular view. So we will only see the tabular view. As we have selected the second one, so we are seeing a tabular view and a general view. In order to see the network diagram, you have to click on the third one. So just click on it. Now this is the network diagram. So this is a complete network diagram of the project. You can also enlarge the screen. So this is the network diagram, and it also gives you the critical path analysis. You can see that some paths are shown in the black lining and other parts are shown with the red lining. So all these parts which are with the black lining, these are not critical path, and this is our critical path. So this is our critical path. All the activities on the critical path are the critical activities. As you also know that from previous lectures that critical path is the path which is the which gives you the total project duration. It is a path which gives you the minimum time in which the project can be completed. And all the activities on the critical path have zero flow. So this is a basic overview of the critical path. We have already covered a detailed lecture on the critical path. So in this way, you can analyze the critical path in Primavera P6.